Dear Grit, August Falter, one and all to the Southern Star studio in Skibbereen for the 2020 West Cork Farming Awards ceremony, which this year is being live streamed online. Our sincere apologies for the slight delay. We're working to West Cork time this evening. You can watch the ceremony via thesouthernstarTV and you can watch it via YouTube. We're experiencing a slight problem with Facebook at the moment, and that might come back on stream as we go along. I'm Sean Mahon, I'm the Managing Director of the Southern Star, and I'm joined here today by our editor, Con Downing, who organises these awards and also chairs the judging panel. Now normally, and for the last 6 years, in September, we would have a big Sunday lunchtime ceremony at the Celtic Ross Hotel, who are our awards partners, with finalists, their families and friends, and people from across West Cork's agricultural sector, having a great meal and a good time, but of course, coronavirus has put paid to that for this year. However, we felt it was still really important to honour the West Cork farming community for their Trojan efforts during this difficult year. And we will be doing that here online over the next 40 minutes or so.
Every year we have a special guest at the West Cork Farming Awards, and I'm delighted to welcome this year's special guest, the Minister for Agriculture, Food and the Marine, Charlie McConalogue, to say a few words.
We can assure you Charlie will be saying a few words in a few seconds. I think he's ready to go now. Okay. Well, if Charlie's not ready to play, maybe we might... Oh, We might come back to Charlie in a second.
Yeah, well, in the meantime, just tell you a bit about the West Cork Farming Awards. First of all, this autumn we put out a call for nominations for the awards. Our readers responded well and sent us in a great cross-section of nominees. Then our adjudicators narrowed them down to a shortlist of 3.
Hi everyone, I'm delighted to be...
We'll go back to the Minister now, I believe we have him available.
Hi everyone, I'm delighted to be able to join you today for the 2020 West Cork Farming Awards, which are run by the Southern Star newspaper and the Celtic Cross Hotel. I want to start first of all by commending the organisers and all those associated with the awards for going ahead with the 6th annual West Cork Farming Awards for this year. As we all know, this year has been a truly memorable year for so many reasons. And I want to take a minute to pay tribute to all our farmers, especially the ones here today, for your efforts throughout the COVID-19 pandemic this past year. The cows were calved, the ewes were lambed, the crops were sown and harvested, all the while dealing with a truly unprecedented global pandemic. You, as farmers and high-quality food producers, kept the shelves stocked and the wheel of the sector turning. And I personally want to thank you for your efforts over the year, and I firmly believe the conscientious consumers of Ireland appreciate your hard work and dedication. It's all the more reason to continue to recognise the efforts of farmers with awards such as these, and I would like to congratulate all those who've been nominated in the various categories and to wish them the very best of luck as the winners are announced. Having been nominated, all of you are already winners in your own right. I note that 2 of the winners have been announced beforehand, and I would like to pay special tribute to Hall of Fame winner and long-time activist Jackie Sullivan of Bear Island, who took part in the famous Farmers' Right protest march from Bantry to Dublin back in 1966. Also to the winner of the Judges' Special Award, Ger O'Callaghan of Scull, who suffered a life-changing accident when he was young and now runs a successful dry stock operation as well as looking after his elderly father. It is great to see our farming heroes being honoured, and well done to all of you. And hopefully I might even next year make the awards in person. In the meantime, enjoy the festive season and stay safe. Best wishes.
Thank you very much, Minister. Now, before we go any further, I would like to take this opportunity to thank my fellow judges for their time, patience and commitment to the West Cork Farming Awards. They are Tom Curran, Regional Manager of Teagasc for Cork West, JJ Walsh, a business advisor who is well known from his time with the Carbery Group, and John Buckley, who was the 2013 Mockra Young Farmer of the Year and is now a member of the board of Teagasc. Thank you all very, very much, gentlemen.
Now, all of the nominees for these awards are already winners in their own right. But today, we're going to announce a winner in each category who will receive a trophy and a prize to the value of €500, courtesy of their respective category sponsor. There will also be trophies and certificates for all of the runners-ups, which we will be sending out over the next few days and which Con is beautifully modelling there for us. Thank you, Con. Meanwhile, I would like to sincerely thank all of our category sponsors, who are as follows: Scally's SuperValue, Clonakilty, sponsors of the Diversification Award; Drimmerly Concrete Works, sponsors of the Young Farmer of the Year Award; Allied Irish Bank, sponsor of the Dairy Farmer of the Year Award; Bank of Ireland, sponsor of the Dry Stock Farmer of the Year Award; IFAC, Hall of Fame Award sponsor; and Hodnett Ford Property Services, sponsor of the Outstanding Achievement in the Farming Community Award. We are extremely grateful to the continued support of all of our category sponsors, without whom these awards would not have become the great success that they are today. So thank you very much. Now, I'd also like at this stage to say thank you to our partner over the last 6 years, the Celtic Ross Hotel in Ross Carbery. And I'd like to just introduce you to their General Manager, Neil Grant, who will just say a few words.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to the 6th Annual West Cork Farming Awards. And in this most strange of years, it's great to be able to keep the show on the road and to keep the awards going virtually. Many thanks to our partners in the Southern Star for making it happen this year. And we very much hope that next year we're back here in the Celtic Ross Hotel, flying the flag for farming in West Cork. Best of luck to all the nominees. You all deserve it, and I think in the toughest of trading years, you've obviously gone all over and above to be recognised. So here's to a better 2021 and hopefully our industries of tourism and farming together can come together to pull Ireland's economy through as they have in the past. So great to see the awards happening, and best of luck everyone. Thank you.
So now, before announcing our first award of the evening, the West Cork Young Farmer of the Year, sponsored by Drimilly Concrete Works, let us meet the three shortlisted nominees. First, we meet Daniel Hickey, who, when the pandemic hit back in March, had 6,500 ducks at Skeanor, Ballydehob, and no idea what he was going to do with them, as 80% of his clients, who were local restaurants, were shut. But the 29-year-old's entrepreneurial spirit went into overdrive, and not only did he find new markets for his award-winning products, he even developed a new niche for chickens during the first lockdown, which he also carried in to the second one. Married to Aileen, Daniel has worked on his family farm alongside his mum Helena and dad Eugene for the last 6 years, during which time he's been part of their major expansion.
Next, we meet Daniel O'Donovan, a 26-year-old from Gertnamuckler, Dunmanway, who is one of the country's top Belgian blue cattle breeders. Last year, his homebred heifer won the supreme overall Belgian Blue champion at the prestigious Tullamore Show. This young man says he learned everything he knows from his dad, Tim. Daniel also works off-farm as a milker in Skibbereen and is engaged to Catherine O'Callaghan from Macroom, who he says is a great support. The couple have had to postpone their wedding twice since April and are now hoping they can tie the knot in 2021. So on behalf of all of us, we wish you every happiness for the future, and we hope that you have your big day very soon.
And last but not least, Kelkil man Christy Thomas has realised one of his life ambitions at the impressive age of 32 to run his own dairy enterprise. He lives and breathes farming and has known since his childhood that this was his passion. His grandparents on both sides of the family were farmers, and that's where his ambition was nurtured. His own parents didn't farm, but Christy never regarded that as an obstacle. This year he leased a dairy enterprise at Letterlicky near Bantry, and someday hopes to own his own farm. Married to Martha from Inchigeela, they are parents of Oisin, Laura and Hazel.
Okay, and the winner of the West Cork Young Farmer of the Year Award, sponsored by Drimilly Concrete Works, is Christopher Thomas from Kelkill.
Thanks very much for the award, and I'd like to congratulate all the other nominees, and I'd like to thank Drimilly Concrete for the sponsors of the award, and have a happy Christmas to everyone and a happy New Year.
Well done, Christy. Our second presentation of the evening is the Diversification Award, which is sponsored by Scally's Super Value in Clonakilty. And here are the people shortlisted in this category.
And the first of these is Glown Cross Dairy. Now, poor milk prices over consecutive years proved to be the catalyst that turned Kevin and Liz O'Donovan of Glown North, Dunmanway, from being ordinary dairy farmers into award-winning suppliers of milk, cream, buttermilk and butter. The turning point for them was back in 2016, when the husband and wife team made the courageous decision to set up their own purpose-built dairy and to go it alone. It was a plucky move, but it's one that's paid off, as the pair have since won top awards, including a gold Bloss na HÉireann accolade, and have established a brand that's known and respected countrywide. They employ a team of 5, and their ethos is to continue producing and delivering a product that they're proud of.
Next, we have Gobeen Farmhouse Products. Running a successful dairy farm at Gobeen near Schull, being one of the country's pioneering cheesemakers, and operating an innovative smokehouse whose products feature on some of the most discerning menus around the country, I think it's fair to say that diversification seems to be in the Ferguson family's DNA. Parents Tom and Gianna Ferguson developed the Gobeen cheese brand. Son Fingal is at the helm of the smokehouse, where they produce around 50 products, and he's also an esteemed knife maker. And then there's Gobeen Greens, run by daughter Clovis, which is a chemical-free garden where the majority of the planting is done biodynamically. And
our final nominee on the diversification shortlist is Catherine O'Donoghue. From Down, Skibbereen, she is passionate about forestry, and she heads up the Forest Owners Cooperative Society Limited, which services the whole of Munster. Catherine said that the role of her organisation was never so important in this era of climate change. She says that biodiversity is the new buzzword with this generation, but we have a disconnect, and we need to reinstate that. She encourages every farmer to be more aware of the power of hedgerows and tree growing.
And the winner of the Diversification Award, sponsored by Scally Super Value Clonakilty, is Clown Cross Dairy Dunmanway.
Okay, on behalf of Glouncross Dairy, we are delighted to accept this award, and we would like to thank Scally's in particular for sponsoring it. We'd like to thank the Southern Star and all our staff and all our customers back over the years, and we are truly delighted to have this award.
Congratulations. Now we move on to our next category, the prestigious Hall of Fame Award, which is kindly sponsored by IFAC. And the winner of this award is a man who has given a lifetime passionately campaigning for the rights of farmers.
Jackie O'Sullivan has lived most of his life on Bear Island and has been a central figure in West Cork IFA circles for decades. The 81-year-old was one of the legendary group of local farmers who marched from Bantry to Dublin in 1966 as part of a protest that ultimately saw 30,000 farmers converge on Dublin, with some of them staging a 3-week sit-in on the steps of government buildings. Still as passionate as ever about righting wrongs in the farming sector, and the most worthy inductee to the West Cork Farming Awards Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, Jackie has not been feeling well this week, but he has received his trophy and sends his thanks to the sponsors, IFAC, and to everyone else involved in these awards, and he is very, very much appreciative of the recognition. Next, we come to the Dairy Farmer of the Year category, which is sponsored by Allied Irish Banks. So let's introduce you to the 3 shortlisted nominees.
Our first one is Glenn Ford from Ballinadee, who feels very optimistic about the future of dairy farming in Ireland. Aged 40 and married to Pamela, they are parents to 8-year-old twins, Connor and Shay. He feels the biggest challenge facing the sector is meeting environmental targets. A 5th-generation farmer, Glenn believes that practical solutions can be found by all farmers, such as increasing habitat areas by planting hedgerows with native species and cutting back on artificial fertilisers, etc. Having been involved with the Carberry Greener Dairy Programme since 2012, he and his father Maynard milk just over 240 cows, and he has introduced a range of measures to mitigate his carbon footprint.
Now, efficiency is key for Richard Murphy on his dairy farm at Hollyhill, Kinsale, where he is currently milking 56 cows with a grazing platform of 65 acres and not in derogation. His focus is very much on the performance of each cow rather than solely on the number of cows. Aged 44, Richard operates a targeted breeding strategy for his milk solids and volumes, with a herd where they breed all their own replacements. He also focuses on constantly improving grass management. Married to secondary school teacher Emily, they have 4 daughters, Aisling, Emma, Lily and Orla. And Richard also runs his own plant hire business.
And finally, we have mother of 5, Caroline Walsh, who says she feels plenty of compassion and respect for her cows. Caroline grew up on a dairy farm in Ballinadee, and with a new entrant milk quota, she rented a farm adjoining her home place from 2009 to 2013. After marrying a Ballinascarthy farm contractor, she moved her cows there in the spring of 2015, and this year she milked a herd of 72. She intends to drop that herd size to 64 next year to increase profit margins and sustainability. Caroline and Joe are parents of Caitlin, 14, Daniel, 8, Leanne, 7, Connor, 6, and Louise, 4. And it makes me tired just thinking about how much work actually goes on in that household every day.
And the winner of the West Cork Dairy Farmer of the Year Award, sponsored by AIB, is Caroline Walsh from Ballinascarthy.
Hi, thanks very much to AIB for sponsoring the competition, and congratulations to all the rest of the nominees who entered. I suppose a big thanks to the generations that went before us here in the foundations of the land, and the generations that went before us in regard to the cows below in Clahan. Without those people, we wouldn't be farming here today. And a big thanks to our neighbours and family and friends all around who help at any given time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So congratulations to Caroline. And so we come to our penultimate award of the evening, which is the Dry Stock Farmer of the Year category, sponsored by Bank of Ireland. And the 3 nominees shortlisted for this award are as follows.
First up, we have Renanary woman, Bear Cotter, who is mad for attending marts, going to her local mart in Macroom every Saturday and travelling to Kenmare every Thursday. Because outside of the social contact, it gives her a great insight into prices and weights. Bernadette, who is 57, a mother of 5 and a grandmother, is married to Sean and farms with her son Dermot. She is passionate about breeding quality stock and has a herd of 52 suckler cows at Kilnamartyr, Macroom. Bear says she gets great enjoyment out of her girls, they being her cows, and she says they're treated exceptionally well, and she even has names for all of them.
Okay, and next we have Martin Crowley, who has been farming on the outskirts of Bantry for the last 40 or so years. He has a mixed farming enterprise of both cattle and sheep and follows best practices with both. Martin has 13 sucklers who calve in February and March and are sold as weanlings in October and November, with 70 ewes lambing in spring and sold locally in late summer, which allows for good grass management. He's married to Mary and they have 2 sons and a daughter. Jonathan works on the farm and also has an agricultural contracting business. Connor works on a farm in New Zealand where he's married with 2 children, while their daughter Deirdre is nursing in Aberdeen.
Our third dry stock nominee is Sean Galvin, who is a pedigree herd of blonde d'Aquitaine and Hereford cattle at his farm at Torelton, Macroom. He started by purchasing a blonde pedigree heifer in 1995, and he has steadily built up the herd since then to 25 pedigree cows plus their followers, totalling 60 stock. Sean was a national finalist in the 2019 FBD ICBF herd competition. Married to Geraldine, they have recently diversified by setting up a new business called Macroom Beef, selling mixed cuts of meat to locals using blonde beef, which is very lean and tender. And they have 3 daughters, Anya, Deirdre and Trisha. Sean enjoys watching GA matches and spending time with his grandsons Leo and Tom.
Okay, and the moment of truth. The winner of the West Cork Dry Stock Farmer of the Year Award, sponsored by Bank of Ireland, is Martin Crowley from Bantry.
Thank you very much for this award. There's a few people I would like to thank. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the other nominees in this category. And I'd like to thank the judging panel for choosing me. I'd like to thank the sponsors, Bank of Ireland and the Southern Star, for facilitating this award. There's 2 men in Tagish I would like to thank, Michael Connolly and David Purcell. And finally, I would like to thank my own family, my wife Mary and my son Jonathan and my grandchildren. They're often called at short notice, maybe in a bit of a panic, for a bit of help, and they always come to the call. Thank you very much.
And so, to our final award of the evening, the Judges' Special Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Farming Community, sponsored by Hodnett Ford Property Services, Clonakilty.
Now, the winner of this award has a remarkable story. It's sad yet heartwarming. When he was just 17, he was involved in a serious motorbike accident, which resulted in him losing his left arm from just above the elbow. But despite this, he just got on with life and studies for his farming green certificate. Then, after the sad loss of his mother Joan from cancer in 1998, he made the decision to switch from dairy to dry stock farming, which he hasn't regretted. And along with running the farm at picturesque Collar near Schull, he also looks after his 95-year-old father, Jeremiah Sr. And in spite of all he's been through, Ger O'Callaghan, now age 43, considers himself a very lucky man. And I think it's this positive attitude that has earned him the Judges Special Award, which is sponsored by Hodnett Ford Property Services. So let's meet the man himself, Ger O'Callaghan, who will say a few words.
Right, I'd like to start here today by thanking Hodnett Ford for sponsoring this Outstanding Achievement Award, which I've received here today. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank the Southern Con and the staff of the Southern Star for hosting these awards. I'd also like to thank my sisters for nominating me for this award, Trish, Maura and Joanne and their families, along with my Teagasc advisor Anna Sexton. I'd also like to thank my father and my late mother, who unfortunately ain't with us today. I know she'd be proud to be looking down on me here today. I'd also like to thank my brother Mick and Elizabeth, who are always here to lend a hand when needed. I'd like just to mention a special thanks to a few people who have been so good to me down through the years in my farming life. My uncle Anthony, Teddy Toomey for his cattle haulage, John McCarthy for all the digger work he've done for me, Faulkner Collins, my veterinary surgeon and his staff, John Cotter and his lads for their baling service, Charlie McCarthy and Dennis Bowen for the calves I buys off them for my customer Pat and Derry Negree. I'd also like to give a special mention to these two people who have been so good to me down through the years. Anthony and Anne O'Shea and their family, Bayview Farm, Bantry, for whom my contract rears the heifers. And also John and Jacinta Goggin and their family for all what work John has done down through the years for me. And I'm just going to finish by saying this: I'd like to wish them all a very happy and a peaceful Christmas and a prosperous New Year, and hopefully it'll be a better year to come. Thanks very much, everyone.
Well done, Ger, and congratulations. And so that brings us to the end of our 2020 West Cork Farming Awards ceremony. Thanks to you for watching, and also to everybody involved in this production, especially our own Emma Connolly, who wrote the profiles, and Jack McCarran, who did the videos and digital side of things. Also our thanks to AVC, who provided the extra technical facilities in our studio here in Skibbereen. By the way, if you would like to watch this again, or if any of your family and friends would like to, just go to the thesouthernstarTV website and you will find the recording there.
In the meantime, we wish you all a very happy Christmas and a prosperous New Year, during which we hope that the COVID-19 pandemic will be consigned to the dustbin of history. The Southern Star is committed to supporting and championing farming and agriculture right across West Cork, and the committed people who make up this special industry across our newspaper, our farming magazines, our digital media. We would love to get back to presenting the 2021 West Cork Farming Awards during our usual Sunday lunchtime gala award ceremony at the Celtic Ross Hotel in Rosscarbery next September. At the moment, that is in the lap of the gods. Things are looking encouraging. We can only hope for the best. Now, just before we go, I have one bit of a surprise element to our script that my fellow presenter Con doesn't actually know about. Con spoke to me recently about his plans to retire at the end of February 2021. After a very long and successful career here with the business for over 30 years full time, but actually dating back a total of 45 years since Con had his first article published back in the Southern Star way back in October 1975. And as well as contributing enormously to the Southern Star generally over the years, Con has been instrumental in building our farming coverage and especially in setting up and running these awards for the last 6 years. And as this will be his last West Cork Farming Awards, I'd like to sincerely say thank you, Con, for all your hard work and all your dedication to the cause and for making these awards the special success that they are. Now, we couldn't let you go without a small token of appreciation, which relates to the farming world, and to make sure that you stay connected to the fields and the farms across West Cork, we got you a couple of essential items. So first off, we have some special Southern Star branded Dunlop Wellington boots, which will stand you in good stead. There you are.
Thank you very much.
There you are. I don't know if you want. And secondly, you have to have the flat cap to keep the head warm as you go out.
Yes.
And then I think finally there's something in there just to keep the
thank
chill
you.
away on a winter's night.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
So Con, we wish you every happiness for you and your wife Tonette in your retirement, which I know is not coming to the end of February, but we'll obviously see you around, and you're always very, very, very welcome at the Southern Star. And
Thank you very much, Sean. Thank you.
It looks good. It looks good. Get a head, get a hat. So for now, from all of us here at the Southern Star studio in Skibbereen, congratulations to all of our winners, all of our finalists, and to everybody involved in West Cork farming. Look after yourselves and one another. Stay safe. Have a wonderful Christmas and New Year. And good night from all of us here at the Southern Star. Good night.
Good night.